Okay, I can hold the microphone like this, but I have to keep it near my mouth. I can hold the microphone like this, but I have to keep it near my mouth. And I'm saying this for me, not for you guys or anything, but it's for me because repetition helps me remember things. So hopefully I will remember I can hold the microphone like this, but it needs to be by my mouth. Anyway, it has been quite a long time since I've done a No Script and It Shows video. Actually, maybe I should put the camera somewhere less bouncy, yeah? I think that's a little bit better. Plus, it feels like, I don't know, I'm not all up in your face anymore, you know what I mean? If you don't know who I am, my name is Spiri. I'm an artist and animator who talks too much. Hopefully you are new here because I love meeting new people sometimes, usually, depends on the weather. It's been quite some time since the last time I made a No Script and It Shows video, ever since I started trying to write up my ideas and brain dump all the stuff into a document and do it that way. It's been so great for me. I've definitely still been working on some videos to put out. I keep working on different things and I just feel bad, but I have to get these ideas out, just like this one. What was it that I wanted to talk about? Well, I just want to point out some things that I've personally been seeing happen over a short period of time, honestly, but if we pull the microscope out of it, I guess, or whatever the saying is, if we just looked at it from a bigger, or as the bigger picture, we could see that this has been happening for quite some time, that corporations do not really give a shit about the consumer. Do you know what I mean? Some corporations, like I'm sure there's some corporations out there that are very, very generous and understanding that they wouldn't be shit without the consumers that buy their products, right? But if we're being for real, if we're being honest, there aren't as many corporations that appreciate and take care of consumers or the people that work for them at that as they should. And like, again, this is not rocket science. I'm not trying to blow your mind or anything like that, but like, we're just noticing it. It's happening a lot more now with the fact that Netflix did that fuck shit talking about, ooh, we're not gonna let anybody passwords share. Good luck. You guys just need to go ahead and make another account. Just all of that was happening. That really seemed like they were trying to do a big FU to their consumers, the people that actually are interested in their stuff like that, paying for it or watching their stuff. They're saying, oh yeah, we're losing so much money from not having people actually have their own separate accounts, blah blah blah. And it's just like, yeah, and you don't think you're gonna lose so much money cutting everybody off and telling them that they have to make their own account? I don't want to get all the way into that. We all know what happened. We can read. There's that. Then there was the stuff that's going on with YouTube in itself. I told my mom, I was talking to her about it, and I was saying that it seemed more and more like YouTube is becoming basically advertiser tube, and it's just really crazy that they're being so harsh on the people that are quite literally making their content for them. I watch, I consume, I am a consumer of everybody else's stuff. And I can just see it. I can tell just because I have empathy for other people that create things. I can tell that this is not really cool that they're doing all of these different policy changes and making it harder and harder for people to just put stuff out. Now, I understand that there are some things that just shouldn't be on YouTube, but that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about people that are wanting to create stuff and they thought that this public domain was somewhere where they could post said stuff, but now they can't because they're like, I don't know if Pepsi's gonna wanna like advertise on your video, so could you just stop? Maybe make something more Pepsi friendly. Make it more Haverty's friendly. Like, what the hell are you on? What are you talking about? I forgot to mention this about YouTube though, but they deleted Berlizzi's account over some dildos. And like, I don't know, that in itself is so worrying to me. As somebody that puts out creations, puts out hard work, I can understand how annoying and frustrating it must be to have your entire account deleted that has all of that hard work on it just for something simple as pixelated dildos. When I see dildos everywhere on YouTube. y'all recommend me that. Just like, it's just things like that that make me wonder, you don't care about the consumers, you don't care about the majority of the people that make content on this platform. Like, you can't, if you're gonna just be so easy about deleting somebody's channel. I don't know if deleting means that you can't get that stuff back or if they'll be able to put it back. Shit, I would be mad if my YouTube channel got deleted. I have so many, put my blood, sweat, and tears into these pieces of work, and it just makes me think, dang, I need to put them somewhere else because this platform isn't always going to have my back, you know? That's just another thing that I wanted to throw in there to emphasize that, like, yeah, these corporations don't care about us. They don't care about the things that we make half of the time. Bottom line is the bottom dollar. However the saying goes. Ugh, I don't speak. YouTube. I could drone on and on and on about that. So, but I'm so sorry because I don't need to. But because you guys also, like, you can read up on it and look at it. It's not great how they're treating the creators on this platform. It's not great how they're treating any creators on any platform. I could list so many examples. I love just rambling, but this is what gets to be a problem, is like we're 12 minutes in and I'm not even getting to my point yet, and we don't need to do this. But it's so great because then I can see how much I've condensed the video. This video could be whatever time frame. I'm gonna like say how long it actually was, and then I could just chunk it down to this much, and it's like, I'm amazing. I'm a wizard. I'm an editing wizard. And I can give so many examples of just like how creators and as well as the people that are working to create things are just not taken care of or given the right environments to do the work that they need to do. And it just really sucks. I don't really like it. And I'm starting to wonder, with how everybody else is noticing it too, what if we did something about it? What if we just tried to do something? I really do think this isn't like a mind-blowing idea or anything, because it just kind of goes back down to the idea of supporting small businesses. We need to be helping each other out, because these corporations at the end of the day do not give two fucks about us. They don't care. All they see is money, and wherever the money goes, they go. And it sucks. I don't think you really care about us. I don't think you really care about us at all. You just want to hope that we keep giving you money. How about instead we just start giving our money to people who do care about the people that are attached to said dollar. You know what I mean? When you give me money, I am thanking you. I'm not thanking the money that appears. You know what I mean? Which is what I kind of feel like corporations do. They're not thinking about the people. They're not thinking about the people that they have to pay either. They're just thinking about, maybe there's a way for me to even bypass this whole thing altogether, and not pay my employees. It's just crazy. Another thing I wanted to point out is, like, I know that Patreon, Ko-fi, Coffee, whatever the fuck it is, all these other platforms that are basically for like funding other creations or funding people's dreams or projects or anything, they are also corporations, and they are also subject to be like, you know, ooh, super buddy buddy, we're totally for the creators, da, 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 and they might do some roundabout ass shit that's totally not for the creators, you know? They're all susceptible to doing that because they're corporations at the end of the day. All I'm trying to say with that part is just like, I'm not trying to say that Patreon and all these other places are a-okay places too, completely wholly going to do everything they can for the creators, because I'm sure they're also going to be, their bottom line is about the money too, because they're a corporation and they need money. It might be like easier because it's more creators that are involved in it, so they can have a more hands-on approach about stuff. I get that. I don't want to say like they're all evil and be doom and gloom about it, but I'm trying to be realistic. And I don't want it to come off as that I'm saying that these places are more pure-hearted and totally not going to turn into the same corporations that I'm talking about right now, because once upon a time these corporations didn't act like this either. They were actually just for the people, or for the people that are involved in doing all that stuff, you know what I mean? At some point in time that changed. So, and that can happen with anything. Everything changes. Stuff is not permanent. But yeah, that's just another thing. Again, I'm not trying to say that these places could not turn into those same very things that we're turning away from right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So by that, And this was something that came up in my head after I saw that video that Meat Canyon did, basically promoting his Patreon. I had known about it since I knew about his animations, and I'm so happy always seeing these creators like Worthy Kids or Hot Diggity Demon or Vivinos or Voon. I don't know if I said that one right. All of these creators that are just making artwork, making their own really dope indie films or indie projects, that I would pay good money to go see on a television or go see wherever they end up putting it, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I really would love to support and put that towards there, because I know my money would be going into something heartfelt. It's homemade, it's cared for, it's not something that they just wanted to put out for money. It's something that they want to do for a living, and they need to make a living off of it. I'm not saying that everybody should do it, because I understand that like that's more of a if I had disposable income kind of mindset. I just don't really have the disposable income to have a $14.99 Netflix account. But if I could, I would totally get rid of my Netflix account to then go give my money to 14 different Patreon accounts where people need help or they need support and you can get benefits from it. Some of the tiers are so low, like I could literally go pick 14 different places where they have $1 and just give them $1. And I know that it's going towards some great thing that's going to be really awesome. And I understand sometimes you might not know with indie productions because they're independent that like if it's going to a good spot or if it's actually going to get made, all that kind of stuff definitely are questions that are valid and should be asked and stuff like that. Do your research for sure. I feel like you still do your research, but just I think it would be good to start putting our money towards those kinds of things, because the more that we just, try to support each other, there's so many people that I know just in passing, let alone just good friends, that have amazing ideas that they want to put out into the world. And the only reason why they really can't do it is because they either have to work a job to make a living or they don't even have the funds for them to begin to start it. You know what I mean? But there's ideas out there. And I know that they're there because those same ideas are in the people that do work in corporations. And they do have the money to make these things happen. But for some godforsaken, not for some godforsaken reason. I know what the reason is. For money, they end up choosing these washed up, not so great ideas. Or they end up mistreating the people that are creating these projects, so then they can't even get it done. Or they do something to hurt the audience in some way. Like, it's just always gonna end up being something of like biting the hand that feeds, in my opinion. There was at some point in the recording of me talking where I was trying to say like I want to fund these projects that people have. There's so many people on the internet whose stories I want to know more about, whose artworks, whose creations, whose projects. Like, again, I don't want to just keep it as exclusively art. There's so many people out there that are just trying to do their passions. As long as you're following your passion, I'm down. And I would prefer to put funding towards those so that they could be the best version of themselves. They could be that version that they would be if they were a part of a corporation, minus the corporation part. So it's still just them. That's kind of where I was going with one of my thoughts, but it like totally derailed into some weird shit. Try to look at the other content that might be out there where people are putting out literal exclusive work, trying to make creations, genuinely love what they do, aren't gonna fuck you over in some way down the road, hopefully. Again, like, everybody's just got a little something wrong with them. I really hope that with more and more people already realizing that you can support these other projects a little bit and just in some way and kickstart it, all that shit. I hope that people will start doing that more instead of just going for these big name stuff. Don't get me wrong, big name stuff are great. I mean, we wouldn't have some of these classic movies, classic shows, classic games if they didn't get funded by something, you know what I mean? But just fund the small stuff too. That's what I'm gonna do. And if that's like speaking to you as well, then yeah, go ahead and do it. That's always been a goal of mine, is just to support. But I know that when I can't do anything financially to support, at the very least I can promote, I can talk about it, I can watch it, I can like it, I can interact with it in some way. Because I know that's what I'd want people to do for my shit if they can't do it that way. So that's why I do it. But we just gotta help each other out, especially artists helping other artists out, or just creators, people that enjoy the craft, people that want some sort of cool content that maybe you can't get just anywhere else. I love finding gems of videos and then just watching them and having a good time. It's really interesting. It's so great. I love the internet in some ways. In some ways. I remember when I said I wanted to be an animator, I wanted to work for Cartoon Network. I wanted to work for Cartoon Network or Adult Swim. I knew definitely that I wasn't going to Disney. I saw how stuff was going over there. I definitely didn't want to go over there at Nickelodeon. I just really wanted Cartoon Network. And as time passed, I started to see that, like, again, no studio is perfect. No corporation is without, greed in some way or some sort of ulterior motive, something like that. They're not always gonna have your back, like how they say. And I don't want to sound like super doom and gloom about that, but that's just like the honest truth. You just have to be aware. So I always was like, yeah, I'm gonna have full creative responsibility, or what is it called? Creative freedom, and I'm gonna be able to do exactly what I want. And I started to realize as I was growing up more, like, oh wait, you actually start to lose some of that when you go into studios. They actually start to tell you that you can't do certain things because whatever thing might not be okay with such and such, like all that, like advertisers might not be cool with it. I don't like being told what to do, okay? And especially when it comes to my creations. So that was something that I started to stand more firm on as I grew up, and still held on to the idea of, I want to make cartoons, or I want to make stories. I want to make those kinds of stuff with my little characters. Maybe I don't need to go to a studio for this though. Maybe I can just do it all on my own. I started noticing other people making their own shit all on their own and posting it places. And that's how I got to where I'm at, where I want people to try to support me on my stuff so I can make it. But it's just all of that boiled down to me realizing, like, yeah, these corporations, studios, big name places, they're usually not going to have your back. But you know who's going to have your back? Not me, but yourself. You're going to have your back. You got you. And other people who see your vision and see what you're about and want to see that come to life and everything, they'll also have your back too. I hope that with more and more people realizing that, like, they do not give a fuck about us as people, as consumers. They don't care. They just see consumers. If you're not consuming it, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. I just hope that more and more people will be like, well, who does care? And who is making cool stuff? Who is listening to what I want? Who is thanking me for me even doing anything towards it? You know what I mean? It's the people that are making stuff that they actually care about and they love and they enjoy. And I don't know, that's why this was a No Script and It Shows, because I don't know really where or how to end that point, other than that's my goal. That's my personal goal. I really want to be able to help fund other people's ideas. I want my ideas to be funded. I want to be able to create stuff without having to worry about anything. And I don't know, just seeing these corporations throw great ideas out sometimes, looking at you, Netflix, or just not really taking care of the people that are creating what they are today. It's just really lame. It really, really sucks. And I don't think that it needs to be that way. And I don't even want to make like a whole thing of like, ooh, boycott Netflix or boycott these places. Like, no, because I understand that they are corporations, but just know that they don't care. They just want your money. So if you want to go somewhere where you're cared for, they're out there. You just got to go look for them. There's so many creators out there that just want you to be a part of their community and all that stuff, myself included. I just want a community. I just want to talk to people and know more and have people look at my art and my little characters and my stories and be entertained and feel something. Every video that I put out on this channel, I'm trying to get people to feel something. Even the No Script and It Shows ones, I'm trying to get you to feel something. And that's what I want, and I'm trying to look for that. There's people just like me that are trying to look for that kind of shit. And they're not listening to the corporations or the big names or any of the studios and stuff like that. Again, not to say like, let's boycott them, but Go look at some streamers. Just join different things. Start to look at other places. I feel like that's a good way. We need to figure out a way to start building community. And I think the first step is, redirecting where our finances are going. But again, I'm not trying to be that bitch that's like, yeah, boycott. Because I understand how difficult boycotting is, especially with the stuff that's going on. But if you're able to and you want to, just toss a little money over to somebody that you think might want that and would do something good with that. Create something that you want. And at the very least, you can sit there with the feeling of knowing that you're helping art go on in some way. You're supporting art. You're supporting people's ideas. And maybe it doesn't even need to be art. You're supporting science. Because I know there's a bunch of funding pages like Patreon or Ko-fi, KOFI, whatever. All those places, they have different people doing different stuff, and it's not always art related or content related. But they're out there, and I think it would be really awesome if we just keep doing that more. I know people are doing it more, because I see it all the time. I'm gonna pay attention and look at more streams and look at more videos on here than I do. I've already been doing that. I haven't opened Netflix in months. And the only time I ever was looking at Netflix, it was because I was at somebody else's house. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and then we weren't even really looking at it. So I could do without it. What I get up, and if I see a notification about fucking Big Top Burger, a new episode, I flip shit. It's stuff like that that makes me happy. Or a new episode or a new round of Alien Stage. Any of that stuff. I'll start shitting bricks right there on the spot. Or anything that has to do with motherfucking Anna or Joel G. Anytime I see, catch, win, sniff a notification from him. And then I wake up immediately because I'm like, oh my God, I have to look at the video. There's things like that I feel for those creations, and they're creations that aren't made by corporations. Do you know what I mean? I feel that same kind of energy towards Devilman Crybaby, and that's a Netflix original. And again, that's part of the reason why I'm saying, like, don't boycott these places, but just start thinking about the things that you want to see on your screen. Netflix is not your only catalog. Hulu, none of these shits are your only catalog ever, ever, ever. They're not. But like, you don't want to boycott these places because these are people's jobs. But at the same time, these are people's jobs where they're not even being treated like people, and they're not getting the correct pay, or they're getting their stuff just completely wiped off said catalog. Like, it's just tough out here. It's real fucking tough. Anyway, I guess this would be the spot where I can tell you that I stream on Twitch, and that's how I'm trying to grow my community. So you're more than welcome to come hang out with me and my friends and whoever else that's popping through. Don't be weird. Some of y'all motherfuckers be weird. But if you want to come to any of the streams, please, you're more than welcome. We try to have fun here. And tell me what you think. Like, how do you feel about corporations not giving a fuck? Like I said, this is not new age stuff. This is definitely, ever since corporations have existed, we knew that they didn't give a fuck about us. But the propaganda just gets so hard to ignore sometimes. You know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day.